path.
Welcome back. Well, the market's now recovering a little bit from the lowest point. The Nifty is just about in even Steven territory. The Bank Nifty is still down 100 points. Mahesh Nandurkar is now joining us from Jefferies. Mahesh, good morning. Thanks much for joining us. I'm reading the strategy report, and the one thing that stood out for me is that your conversation about IT and that it's received considerable interest, and Infosys is the top pick, and HCL Tech is something which is being debated the most. That explains the mood of the market also, right? The IT index at an all-time high. So first, let's talk about this. At current level, is the market pricing in too much good news, or is there still a secular story?
You're talking about the market as a whole?
About IT. Let's talk about IT first, yeah.
Okay. No, I think, as you rightly mentioned, Anuj, the market is pricing in, a lot of good news already. And seemingly the valuations may appear, to be significantly higher than what the historical numbers have been. But the point is that for IT services, and I would say broadly for markets in general, we have to look at valuations also in the context of where the current risk-free rate is. And our base case is that the global liquidity situation is going to remain easy, and therefore the risk-free rates globally as well as in India will remain, at the benign levels. And the valuation, therefore, in the context of those much lower risk-free rates, is not really out of the whack for market, also for IT services, sector in specific. And we have continued to like, this sector, for a while, and that's, also primarily because of our view of US economic recovery, being actually not, as bad as what one would have initially thought. And given all this fiscal and monetary stimulus which is coming, their way, probably we're doing slightly better than what the expectations are. And the Indian IT services are obviously gaining some kind of, market share, and that trend is likely to continue. So, yes, we continue to like that sector for sure.
Okay. Mahesh, hi, good morning. What about, okay, so we spoke about the IT sector. I was going through your note where you talk about the lagging sectors, the ones which have been impacted the most by social distancing rules, whether it's restaurants, hotels, passenger train, air travel. It doesn't look like any of these sectors are coming out of the woods anytime soon, but I want your opinion. Are you playing the unlock trade via these sectors? If yes, which one stands out for you?
Well, these more visible sectors like this tourism, restaurants, hotels, etc. I think it's going to take a while. So our preferred recovery plays are not through these narrow segments of economy, which will probably going to see a protracted slowdown. Our preferred ways of playing the unlocking or the expected recovery is more through things like some of the property developers. We like certain industrial names, from a very strong bottom-up perspective. Also, the insurance sector looks quite good. The consumer discretionary itself, including select auto names. So those are still going to be the names that look good for us to play the recovery.
Okay. Well, you have a kind of mentioned banks in half a breath, neutral and preferred picks, HDFC, HDFC Bank, ICICI and IIB. Well, I just wanted to know what is the thought on NBFCs? I mean, will there be some standout guys? I only see HDFC over here. Any standout guys who will be able to grab other people's share?
So as I said, won't really be able to comment on any individual stocks as such.
But the space itself, you have picks.
Yeah, by and large, I mean, apart from, one of the largest companies over there, I don't think that, that space is, going to look, very, very attractive from a risk reward perspective. I mean, I would say that, there are better ways to play the recovery in my view.
Okay, which is what the market also seems to be doing, right, Mahesh? There's been a consensus about perhaps getting to non-lenders than lenders in the financial space. So you spoke about insurance in passing, but that has had a big run already. Do you see it as a compounding story over the next, say, 10, 12 years? We have two insurance stocks which are now part of the Nifty as well.
Yeah, I do see that as a long-term compounding story, Anuj, because one is obviously the opportunity is quite big, and we are just scraping the surfaces, and some of these companies are also gaining market share from their state-owned counterparts as well. So the competitive dynamics is working in their favor. And talking about the recent run that we've seen and generally looking at the valuations, the thing is, one thing that I would say, all of us, have learned over the last like whatever 10, 15 years, maybe longer, is that when the fundamentals are supportive, like it is in case of insurance, the valuations can possibly go to the levels that we haven't really seen before, or or can remain at that uncomfortable level for a really long period of time. I mean, historically, there are many examples like consumer staples, and one could say to some extent even pharma and a few other names. So the thing is, simply because the stock has had a big run is not necessarily a reason for one to sell that. I mean, unless one is able to spot some fundamental negatives. So at the balance, insurance is still showing more positives than negatives. So I would continue to play that story, from a long-term compounding perspective as well.
You briefly mentioned autos, but I didn't get your exact view on it. I mean, are you optimistic on the auto companies? Because the managements themselves don't believe that, things are going to stay strong. In fact, post the festive season is when they fear that the real lack of demand may come through. How are you positioned here? And if you like it, what do you like?
Yeah, so the thing is, we have kind of a select bottom-up ideas there. It's not that, we like the whole space, but yeah, I mean, there are select kind of four-wheeler names or even two-wheeler names that we like. And, I take your point that there is some element of pent-up demand, which has driven up the volume numbers recently. And, we've been tracking that very, very closely as well. So, yeah, I mean, as you rightly mentioned, the real test is going to come after the festive season or during the festive season, and more so from the secondary sales and not just the wholesale dispatches from the company side. I think that is one thing to keep in mind. But the thing is, yeah. So what still makes us optimistic on some of the auto names, as I mentioned, is once again that I'm not of the view, as I mentioned in the beginning, that simply because the P multiples have gone up. And probably I'll just repeat that point, is that if you look at even at a broader market level perspective, and if you look at the P multiple in the context of the risk-free rate, and if you do the simple maths of earnings yield minus bond yield, whether you take a 10-year GSEC rate as the risk-free rate, then we are actually pretty much at the historical averages level in terms of valuation. If you take 1-year GSEC rate as the benchmark, then one can even make a case for further scope for re-rating for the market as a whole. So yes, I mean, the near-term pullback cannot be ruled out, because we've had a pretty decent run from the the lows that we saw in the middle of May. The markets are up almost like 25% plus from that point. From March lows, it's up like 50%. So some kind of a pullback is definitely possible. But I think whether it is auto names or some of the other names that we like, I think it's a more going to be a buy on dips, kind of a market.
Okay, a couple of rapid fire before we thank you, Mahesh. What is this Sensex or Nifty target you would look at, say 12 months down the line, given global backdrop, etc., etc.? And secondly, would the mid caps continue to outperform in this forward-looking 12-month period?
So over the next 12-month period, I mean, I'll need to work out my maths. But the thing is, I would be, we would be looking at, easily 10, 12%, kind of a return, over the next 12 months from the market as a whole.
Okay.
And, the one thing that will definitely have to sort of watch out for is, some kind of a, break away from the historical trend that we've seen for the last 10 years, because the macros in terms of, where the real rates are in the negative territory, inflation going up, etc. These are all kind of like at inflection points. So, from global perspective, from the Indian perspective as well. So what has necessarily worked in the last 10 years, will not really be working in the next 10 years or the next 5 years or whatever. Okay. So that's what I would say.
Okay. 10 to 12%, Mahesh, would take the market into a really expensive zone, right? And you think the market is ignoring the risks. I know you're saying that we're back to perhaps 80% of pre-COVID levels, but it's not as if pre-COVID we had a really booming economy, and there have been job losses, salary cuts over the last 3 to 6 months, and once the moratorium issue is out of the way, surely there could be some pain in the system.
Well, the 10 to 12% is obviously over a 12-month period. So, if you look at the earnings trajectory, what we are looking at is for FY22, we are looking at for Nifty as a whole about 35 to 40% earnings growth. So while we'll be moving forward, with a higher market level, so will be the earnings as well. And my sense is, 12 months down the line, if the market indeed is up 12%, I think the P multiples would have actually come down and not up.
Okay, Mahesh, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot for your time today. That's Jefferies with the view that the market should gain 10 to 12% from these levels over a 12-month period. They, of course, like IT and in the financials, they believe that it's time for non-lenders like insurance. Mitesh Thakkar and Prakash Kaba joining us for fresh technical calls. Mitesh, holding 11,500, it's clearly a market which wants to defend this level. But your thoughts on the index so far and your stock calls?
Yeah, Anuj, there's good fight around this 11,500 mark, but my worry is the Bank Nifty, which is now trading below the 22,000 level and is showing some negative traction on the indicator setup. So I think the Bank Nifty could put pressure, and until we start capturing 22,100 again, I think the Bank Nifty could decline to 21,500 or maybe levels below that. So I would be slightly wide on the financial side. The calls that I have right now, a buy on Manappuram with a stop at 161.5 for targets of 170, and Nestle is a sell with a stop at 16,150, targets of 15,300.
Okay, by the way, look at Bharti. It's once again falling, and it had that rally on Friday, but clearly at higher level there's still some selling pressure which keeps coming back in the stock. Look at that stock now, almost 2% lower is what you have on that. Prakash, good morning. What are your calls?
I like Tech Mahindra. Possibly we'll see an up move to 835 zones, stop below 804. 835 to 840 is the target that I have. And I like TCS as well. Possibly we'll up move to around 2550, stop below 2465.
All right, gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us. Anuj, thanks as well for giving us that market update. We'll slip into a short break, but the upper house of the parliament has passed the farm bills. We discussed the impact on business with S. Sivakumar, the group head agri and IT business at ITC on the other side.